Welcome, kindergarten families. We are so happy that we are here with you, although not live. We are here to give you very important information about kindergarten curriculum. So this presentation should probably take about maybe 15 minutes or so. And I'm going to introduce our fabulous kindergarten team, starting with
Hi, I'm Catherine Petcher, and this is my 13th year teaching kindergarten. I'm so excited to work with your children this year. It's going to be a wonderful year.
Hi, I'm Miss Meyer. This is my 3rd year teaching kindergarten. I absolutely love it. Just spending all my days with the Munchkins are so much fun.
I'm Lindsay Wagner, and this is my 26th year teaching kindergarten, my 22nd year at Claymont. And we are off to an amazing start. So we are very happy to have your kiddos. And we also want to acknowledge our amazing teammate, Laura Rockledge, whose father recently passed. So she will be back in school tomorrow, so she'll be very excited to see your kiddos. So first of all, we would like to thank you for all that you have done these past 4 weeks of school. It has been an amazing start. We appreciate all that you are doing at home to help your child in these beginning stages of kindergarten, remembering everything that we're asking you to do, bringing those masks, lunch, all of those things. And we are very excited to work together to make this a wonderful school year for your children. A few reminders. First of all, please know that when we send out this recording, or when you're reading it right now, you will also have access to the slides. So if you choose to do the slides, you can do that if you don't want to listen to us. And Dr. Birch will also be sending you a message at a later date as well. So just remember masks. I feel like kids are doing very well with masks, but do make sure that the mask is a well-fitted mask. If masks are too small or too big, it's just really tough, and kids just can't keep them over their noses. We have had some sick kids already, so we really want to make sure that those masks are well-fitting so that everybody stays very well. And then also bring extras, because kids sneeze in them or they get them wet, so we want to have extras in the backpack. Also, don't forget to bring a healthy snack and a water bottle each day. For lunch, you can send a lunch, or your child can get a school lunch. And for dismissal, always notify your teacher or the office if it's during the school day, if there's a change in dismissal.
So what does Parkway Kindergarten look like? Hopefully by now you've seen a little snippet of it. All of us have had an opportunity to post pictures online on our Facebook pages or groups. So hopefully you're a part of those. If not, ask your child's teacher how you can be. But we are really hope to foster that social and emotional development. And already have been introducing and building upon where your child has come in. So really growing those academic skills, strengthening fine and gross motor skills as well. We've started our character education program, Second Steps. You'll hear about that. Puppy, he's back here. He's one of our mascots that's a part of that program, which is a whole lot of fun. And those core values, you'll start to hear words like responsibility, empathy, integrity, even more coming home soon. Kindness is a big one lately. We also encourage exploration and inquiry. So you might ask your child, just as an example, about that chrysalis that we had in our classroom, or maybe still do. We assure student differentiation and honor each child where they are, and honor the unique differences of every kiddo. So that's just kindergarten as like an overview of the curriculum and what it looks like. Well, the curriculum is nationally is aligned with national and state standards, and our instruction is based upon educational research, best practice, and the social, emotional, and cognitive development of children. We'll talk more about each area of the curriculum through the presentation.
The first part of our curriculum that we're going to talk about is reading. And so these are our units. We Are Readers is the first one. That's a unit we're all in right now. And this unit is designed to ensure kindergartners, they want to learn to read and believe that they can read independently. And then the next one that the next reading unit is Superpowers Reading with Print Strategies. And this unit is designed to place a greater emphasis on looking at the print and understanding that the print conveys meaning. And then the next one is Bigger Books, Bigger Reading Muscles. And then this unit is designed to move students from reading mostly familiar texts to reading more difficult books with greater independence. And then the last priority unit is Becoming an Avid Reader. And this unit encourages students to become avid readers with an authentic love of reading. And then some of our reading expectations is that kids are reading independently for sustained periods of time. Right now, Ms. Myers' Munchkins are reading independently for about 9 to 10 minutes, and then throughout the year, that number will grow. And then to develop phonemic awareness in the reading process that focuses kind of on sounds and vowels, rhymes and blends, and then reading our snap words. I'm actually in front of our snap word right now. One of our snap words is C, and we're gonna have each week we'll introduce new snap words in the classroom. So I know that I know all of my teammates put our snap words focus in our newsletter throughout the week. So if that's something you guys might want to work on at home, that will really help your child as well. We read, infer, and draw conclusions from our text. We identify main events, characters, and setting. And then we also are working on retelling familiar stories. And then we haven't started them yet, but coming later on in the school year, not too far later, we will be beginning super reader bags. And then this is where your child's teacher will get a bag. Your child will give your child, or sorry, let's try that again, Ms. Meyer. Your child's teacher will give your child a super reader bag similar to the one on the screen. And that book will be filled with books that are appropriate to your child's reading level. And they'll be sent home earlier in the week, and throughout the whole week, your kind of homework, if you have time, is to read the books out of that bag every night, hopefully. And then that bag will be sent home on Monday. And then your child's teacher will work some magic, refill that bag, and you'll have new books coming home starting the next week. And then our phonics priority units are Making Friends with Letters, Word Scientists, Word Power, and Vowel Power. And the focuses of all of these units is to work on letters, sounds, and how they work together to make special words. Side note, not sure if you guys have heard about Mabel yet. Mabel is our elephant, and she really helps us with our phonics. And then our kindergarten phonics expectations is that we transfer phonics knowledge to reading and writing tasks with letter sounds, rhyming words, blends, digraphs, high frequency words, all those fun things. And then we also celebrate approximations, identify strengths, and establish learning goals. And then here's a little snippet. So on the left, you're going to see Mabel's ABC chart. And so we use that a lot in our classroom. This is helping us right now with our writing and with our phonics to think of we're working on trying to hear some sounds. And so for instance, if you think of the word balloon, balloon, what other picture starts with that sound on Mabel's chart? So we're using that alphabet chart a lot. And then on the other side, the right side, that yellow chart, that is our sight word or snap word list for the whole year. So we haven't learned all of these words yet, but by the end of the school year, your child will, fingers crossed, be able to recognize a good portion of these words.
All right. In writing, these are our priority units that we'll cover this year. Right now, we're just beginning and identifying ourselves as writers and authors. So our units are launching the writing workshop. That's what we're in right now. Kids are learning how books work, and they're learning to make their own books and do their own different types of writing. Writing for readers, we will learn how to make our writing more readable and make it easy for other people to read. And we'll also get into how-to books, so writing to teach others. During this unit, kids will learn a process for writing, how to do various things that are very important to them. So how to do a cartwheel, or how to play soccer, or how to get in line in the classroom, just the simplest things, and really learn to write through that process. During this unit, we also like to, sorry, my lights went off, really write a little bit of nonfiction as well. So you might find out, you might see some all about books coming home as well. That might happen even during launching the writing workshop. You might see kids writing books all about trains or all about monster trucks or all about things that they love, really. Our final unit for the year is persuasive writing of all kinds. This one families always love because they will begin writing things to their moms, dads, grandmas, sisters, brothers about things that they want or things that they really feel they should have or that should be changed. So we often talk in this unit about writing to change the world. We begin the unit by looking around our classroom and our school and seeing problems and writing to people in charge and thinking about ways that we could make a change, even as 5 and 6 year olds. So writing workshop really is an amazing year for children, and you'll see so much growth from the beginning to the end. Our expectations in writing is that kids with assistance draw and write fiction or nonfiction narratives and poems. They write informative and explanatory texts. They use lower and uppercase letters appropriately. They write their first and last name by the end of the year. So capital letter to start, the rest little and lowercase, we say, for both first and last name. We've already begun this with our first names. Writing and beginning to use punctuation. And also you'll see them begin to use inventive spelling, where they listen closely to the sounds they hear in words and write that down. Building that confidence is huge in kindergarten. So please encourage your child to spell phonemically, listen closely to the sounds, write what they think. However, if they're words like mom, dad, or other words that you see on the word list that Kelly mentioned, you can definitely tell them how those are spelled conventionally, or I often say how you might read it in a book, like a published book. So lots of exciting things in writing this year. We really honor each child's abilities and their approximations, and know they're going to try so much as writers this year. It's an exciting time in our classroom for sure.
All right, so we'll move on to math. So we have 4 math units that we'll focus on during the year. The first one is counting and cardinality 1. And actually right now, we're just kind of introducing the idea of what a mathematician is and what math workshop is. So right now we're working on number formation and accurate counting and just getting used to the idea of what mathematicians do and even coming up with strategies of how to be a good counter. So those are very foundational things that we need to move into our units. So the next unit will be counting and cardinality 1. We'll really work on numbers 1 to 10 and making sure we have that accurate counting. Then we'll move into addition and subtraction. Then we'll move into counting and cardinality 2, where we're working on teen numbers and higher numbers up to 100, working on comparing numbers more and less. And then our final unit will be geometry, where we're focusing on shapes and putting shapes together. So those are our 4 priority units that we're going to be doing this year. And the math expectations is that every child will be able to count verbally to 100 by 1s and 10s. And also we kind of throw in practicing counting by 5s just to kind of give them that exposure. Your child should be able to read and write numbers from 0 to 20. So right now we're just focusing on 0 to 10, really making sure that they have proper number formation, no backwards numbers. We have number poems that we use to kind of help them to remember how to transfer those numbers when they're writing numbers on their own. And then representing a number of objects with a written numeral from 0 to 20. So if they see 13 balls, they'll be able to write the number 20, and then vice versa, knowing how to accurately count the number that they see. Using a variety of strategies to represent and solve addition and subtraction within 10. And just the idea of using strategies as a counter. Did you figure it out mentally? Did you have to use your fingers? Did you draw pictures? So giving kids the opportunity to figure out the strategy that works best to be able to solve those problems within their level of mathematical thinking. So the addition and subtraction will be within 10. So we're not going to be doing 37 minus 17. It'll be more like 10 minus 5 or 7 minus 4 or 5 plus 2, which a lot of kids already have those kind of very easy addition problems already. We also will be working on decomposing, which means taking apart numbers up to 10 using methods such as using objects or drawings to record the result, using a drawing or an equation. So they will learn equations, and we will use that term equation with the plus sign, the equal sign, or the subtraction. And then the last expectation is they demonstrate fluency for addition and subtraction within 5. So we build upon each of these expectations, and as we get closer to the end of the year, kids will have all of these skills that they need to be ready to become first graders. And then also, you might have heard your child already talk about this, but we will use Dreambox. So Dreambox Learning is a personalized online math program that does enrich the Parkway math curriculum. It can be eventually accessed at home, but right now we're just using it in the classroom. And it works with kids at their own level. So kids can, if there's a kindergarten level, there's a first grade level, there's a second grade level, and I think it even goes up to 5th grade. So throughout the Claymont career, your child will have access to Dreambox. So it really is a good program. But we do ask, if your child eventually does do the program at home, we want to make sure that you're not guiding them through the program. So we want to make sure as teachers, we can look at the data to make sure we can see what their learning progress is. And sometimes as parents, we really want to help our kids, but if we help them too much, then as teachers, we don't know if the data from home is actually accurate. So we want to make sure that you give them the time to do it independently or just with a little bit of guidance. I think that's it for math. Yep.
Yep.
Oh, social studies. That's me too. All right. So for social studies, we have 3 units that we do. And right now we are working on Super Friends, which has been so exciting. So we've got Super Bunny that helps us think about how we can show kindness and responsibility and empathy to our classmates. And even the idea of remembering the names of our classmates is still kind of tricky. So we're working on that. We're working on becoming a classroom community. Today actually was our very first family day. So we have a day where we really focus on what does it mean to become a classroom family versus being at home with your own family, and what we need to do to really navigate and build those relationships to become a Claymont family. And then our next unit will be Celebrate, where we will focus on different cultures around the world and cultures within our own families, and kids will have a chance to share some special things that families may do. And then our final unit is Navigating and Making Choices in a Kindergarten Zoo, which is actually a coding program. So we'll be using some coding, and we'll be doing some mapping skills, and kids will be able to create their own zoo and even use the idea of coding to create their own zoos or making their animals move. So we have some very exciting social studies units for sure. The expectations, of course, building classroom community, which has been the #1 thing we have been working on since day 1. Understanding classroom rules, procedures, and expectations. Developing self-awareness, management, and cooperation skills. And this is something that we really work on. And as kids transition from being at home or coming from preschool, how are you now a part of a classroom of 18 kids? How do you focus on your own self-control and helping the self-control of others, and learning how to be a good listener and learning how to keep your body still? And of course, building an understanding of other cultures. We're very lucky that we were able to have children of different diverse backgrounds, so we can celebrate their cultures. Understanding needs and wants. And then, like I said before, becoming familiar with and creating maps. And then our character education program. So our Claymont core values, I'm sure you have heard, we say them every single day. Dr. Burt says them every single day. Responsibility, kindness, integrity, empathy, and perseverance. And we do focus on these every single day. And each month when we have our family days, there'll be one specific core value that the entire school will focus on. And then we have a program called Second Steps that Catherine mentioned. And in this program, this is where kids learn those skills for being a good listener and focusing their attention and speaking up when they need help. So the one thing that we're doing right now that you can actually do at home with your kids, we always say eyes are watching, ears are listening, body is still, voice is quiet. And then you get out your focus binoculars or your telescope and you really focus so that you don't get distracted during learning times. That's something that we're really working on now. And that's something that if you're having some trouble at home with listening, you can kind of bring those into your home and we can have that same language at home at school as well.
All right, I'm going to talk kind of quickly through science, but these are our priority units this year. Our official units are sun and shade, pushes and pulls, and animals and algorithms. So again, Lindsay mentioned the Navigating a Kindergarten Zoo. We do that with animals and algorithms at the end of the year and bring in a lot of coding and a lot of fun. So we use the design process that will take kids through various opportunities and learning experiences in all of these units. So you'll get to hear about that. So much investigating, so many opportunities for kids to show curiosity and
to the office for a moment. Thank you.
And curiosity and just really investigate. And of course, through this, we encourage our every kiddo to bring their ideas and questions and thinking to the classroom. And we kind of definitely stick within this unit, but then also honor what kids are interested in and bring that to our center time as well through science, using words like observe and predict, and just have a whole lot of fun. So we want kids to ask questions, make observations, gather informations, and define a simple problem, develop possible solutions to solve problems, and analyze data to solve a problem. So we haven't officially started a science unit. However, there's been a lot of this happening in our classrooms already with the simple gift of a chrysalis. And we were making predictions today in my classroom about when we think our butterfly might emerge and why we think that, and charted it. Everybody wrote their name, and we're really anxious to see what might happen. We've also been noticing as he changes and reading books because we're interested in them. So a lot of this happens naturally, but then also will happen within the units as well. So here's just a little bit more info as we wrap up our presentation. Library days, you can see my class goes on Thursdays in the afternoon, and then Miss Meyer, Rockledge, and Wagner all have libraries on Friday. Just make sure you bring those books back before that day. So if you want to just plan, if you're in my class every day, every Thursday, you make sure that's in the backpack. That would be very helpful as you're gathering things at home. We want kids to take it home and read it and then bring it back when they're finished. It's as simple as that, right? We will also have show and tell. Each class will have a monthly show and tell, and look for more information coming from each specific teacher about how that will work and dates for show and tell. Our parent-teacher conferences are November 9th and 11th, and we will have more information about how that works in the months ahead. But that is our only conference this year. If you want to meet or talk on the phone or email or Zoom anytime, of course, reach out to your child's teacher and we can meet at any time to discuss their progress or concerns you have or anything that you need at all. So in addition, your child will receive 2 progress reports this year, in January and in June. So we will share information with you along the way, just about what your child's learning goals are and how they're making progress towards that goals. You can look for that in about mid-fall. But again, if you have questions at any time, we're constantly assessing and working with kids and see so much growth already. So it's really anytime you need anything or you have a question, please just go ahead and reach out. Field trips we're kind of up in the air right now. We're hopeful that maybe this spring we'll be able to take one. But with the state of the pandemic and policies and things, we're just kind of holding off for now. So we will not have one this fall, but are hoping that by spring things will be looking good and that it might happen, right?
And just so you know that our fall field trip would have been to the pumpkin patch, so make sure you take your child to the pumpkin patch.
Yes, get there. And just know that every student can learn, just not on the same day or in the same way. We're here for your kids. We love your kids. Claymont is the best, and we are so lucky to get to work with them every day. So thank you for sending your children to us, to care for them, to love them, to watch them grow. It's going to be an amazing year. Remember that there's going to be a Google form coming out. So if you've listened to all of this and you're still hearing us talk, don't forget, if you have any questions, you can submit them through the Google form. All right. Thanks for sharing your child with us. We hope you have we're gonna have a great year and have a wonderful day.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.